quick look now at some word problems and how to use the Singapore bar method to solve these word problems. Now I've got quite a simple one here, but it can look a little bit daunting to begin with, but we're going to show you how to simply work it out. Now we've got a factory makes 2,275 watches a week. How many does it make in one day? Now it's important here to find my key information and to find out what I'm trying to work out. So first of all, what I'm trying to work out? Well, I'm trying to work out this last question here. How many does it make in one day? That's what I want to figure out. That's where my question mark really is. That's what I really need to know for my answer. But I need the important information now. Let's read it carefully. So how many does it make in one day? Well, how many what does it make? Well, that must refer back to the start of my question where I'm told a factory makes 2,275 watches in a week. So if they make 2,275 watches in a week. Now I want to know how many it makes in one day, but I'm only told how many it makes in 1 week. So now I'm going to have to use my maths knowledge carefully and figure out how many days are in 1 week. Well, I actually know it's 7. So I can see that 2,275 made over 1 week, which is simply split down into 7 days. Now I'm just going to draw this out roughly. It doesn't matter too much that my boxes aren't perfectly even. It's just so I can visualize the problem. So 2,275 watches made over 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And each of these represents a day. And I've got 2,275 watches made over those 7 days. But I want to know my question, how many does it make in 1 day? Well, if each of these represents a day, I just want to know what that box is worth. Or it could be this box or that box. But as long as it's only one of them, then I know I'm working out the right thing. So if this whole bar represents 2,275 watches, how am I going to figure out what this one box is? Well, actually, I can see. Simply, I've divided my 2,275 into 7 equal boxes. Listen to the phrase of that sentence. I've divided my 2,275 into 7 boxes. So that's my maths problem. I'm just going to move this to the side. We'll bring it back later. I now need to do 2,275 divided by 7. Now, if you don't know what this is here, this formal method that I'm showing you, this formal written method, then go back to one of our other videos on dividing 4 digits using a formal written method. You'll find it under maths homework, multiplication and division, and then the one that says dividing 4-digit numbers using a formal written method, and there's a short explanation there for you. But let's quickly work this one out. For those of you who know how to do it, we go 7 is what we're dividing into, and 2,275 is what we're dividing, is what we're splitting apart into 7 equal pieces. Now we work not from our units first, but from our thousands. So let's start with our thousands. How many times does 7 go into 2? Well, I know 7 doesn't go into 2 at all, so that gives me a 0. And I'm going to carry that 2 over. And now I can cross this out, 22. Well, how many times does 7 go into 22? Well, I'm going to use my 7 times table. 1 times 7 is 7. 2 times 7 is 14, 3 times 7 is 21, and 4 times 7 is 28. Now I only have 22, and I know 3 times 7 was 21, so that's the closest I'm going to get. So 7 goes into 22 3 times, remainder 1. So that 1's come from my 22, because I only got 21 out of my 3 times 7, so there'll be 1 left over. So now I'm going to do 7 into 14. Well, I know that 2 times 7 is 14 and 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 7, too big. I'm going to have to be my 2 times 7, so 7 goes into 17 twice. Remainder, well, went into 14, so that's 15, 16, 17. Remainder 3. Now this final one, I can cross all these ones out because I finished with them. My final one here, 35. How many times does 7 go into 35? Well, I know there that 7 times by 5 is 35. So 7 goes into 35 5 times. So 2,275 divided by 7 gives me 325. Don't worry about this placeholder here because it's at the beginning of my number. Now recognise that I called this 3 before, this 2 and this 5, but because of where they are with their place value columns, I get the number 325. Let's go back to my initial bar now. So 2,275 divided by 7 means that each one of these boxes is worth 325. This one's worth 325. This one's worth 325. This one's worth 325, and so on. If I wanted to check this, I could simply times 325, doing the inverse operation. I could times 325 by 7. In fact, I can quickly do that now because I like to check my problems. 325 times by 7, and I should be getting 2,275. Let's do this quickly. 7 times 5 is 35. I'll write down my 5 and carry my 3. 7 times 2 is 14. Add my 3 is 17. Write my 7, carry my 1. 7 times 3 is 21. Add my 1 is 22. I don't have to carry my 2 because I've finished all my timesing, so it goes up here. 2,275. So my answer is correct. Now let's answer my final question. How many does it make in one day? Well, it makes 325 watches. And that is how we use the bar method to solve a maths problem.